and other dignitaries who are present today to take part in the auspicious program. We will begin our program shortly, and with that, let me invite Professor P. Rin Oma, Program Coordinator, NNS Cell, Mizoram University, to give a welcome speech.
Good morning, everybody. Let me highlight the program, the workshop today. National E-Government Division and Independent Division of Department of Electronics and Information Technology, in association with National Service Scheme, Department of Youth Affairs, has conducted awareness workshop on Digital India in 20 universities across the country on pilot basis between 25th February and 15 March this year. The main objective was to engage, educate and empower university students about the Digital India program. Approximately 6,000 students and faculties were direct recipient of Digital India information technology through this workshop. The workshop session were mix of audio, video, quiz, presentation, question and answers, as well as skit show in regional language, performed by the NSS volunteer on the theme of Digital India. The work were greatly appreciated by all the participants from different parts of the country. The next step is to conduct similar workshop in 100 universities with NSS unit across India. NSS is organizing Digital India workshop in collaboration with Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, Government of India, for the NSS volunteer in 100 universities. It is planned to have 100 workshops in 4 batches, with 1 batch happening on a single day. Each workshop, 220 NSS volunteers from 20 affiliated colleges and 200 students from the host university students will participate. Around 27,000 participants will be the direct beneficiaries of the Digital India information as communicated in the workshop. They are expected to further carry forward the message of Digital India into their communities as per the post-workshop plan activities. In compliance to the request by NECD, Mizoram University NSS Cell is organizing Mizoram University workshop on Digital India today. In this workshop, 200 NSS volunteers and 20 program officers from 20 colleges, affiliated colleges, and 20 volunteers of the host university are participating. Besides, state e-governance mission team, NIT, State Information Technology departments are also participating. Today, we are very fortunate to have dignitaries in our inaugural session. Professor Alal Thanpuanga, Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, is with us to grace the function. Respected sir, on behalf of Mizoram University workshop, we heartily welcome you, sir. Pu Silal Masuana, Commissioner, DICT, Government of Mizoram is also with us to come to function. Sir, on behalf of the organizing body, heartily welcome you, sir. Sri Kanan Kopinan Thandi Ji, Deputy Commissioner, Aizawl District, also accepted our invitation to grace the function. Sir, on behalf of the organizing body, we welcome you, sir. Pu Ala Rosanga, Director, Higher and Technical Education, Government of Mizoram, also with us. Sir, we really welcome you in this program. We also welcome distinguished Dean of School of Mizoram University, Deans of Student Welfare, Finance Officer, Controller of Examination, College Development Council, and State IT Department and IT and so on. NSS program officers from 20 colleges and university and NSS volunteer, we heartily welcome you. Thank you.
I request Professor R. Rinoma to present a small memento as a token of appreciation to our respected dignitaries. Okay, now let me take the pleasure to invite our Honorable Chief Guest of the day, the Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, to give the inaugural speech, which will be followed by other speeches by the Secretary of DITC and Sir Kanan Gopinathan to have a few words.
Professor Irin Oma, the organizer of this program, Pu Lalmatsuana, Secretary, DITC, Government of Mizoram, Sri Gopinathan, Deputy Commissioner, Aizawl District, Dr. Rosanga, Director of Higher and Technical Education, Government of Mizoram, and my dear colleagues in the university and teachers from different colleges and NSS volunteers, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to join Purinoma in welcoming you to Mizoram University and also to this program. Some of you, I think, might not have come to the campus earlier, so I don't know whether you'll have time to see around the campus. Since this is your university, I would like you, if possible, those who have not come before, to see the campus and also the facilities available in the university. And for teachers, particularly who are teaching the students in their respective colleges, I think you can visit our library, which is fairly good, and some facilities through this ICT. You may also be able to find out certain facilities. You may be able to have some access from your place to our library resources also. So I would like you to explore the possibility, and also for the students. And if there are some teachers from the science faculty, I do not know how many of you are from the science faculty. We also have a Central Instrumentation Center where sophisticated instruments for doing research and all in science are housed. So these are also open to anybody who would like to use them. Of course, for some of them there may be some nominal charges for the chemicals, this and that. So you should know that this university, whatever facility we have, is for all of you. Of course, there may be certain rules, regulations which you may have to follow. So kindly try to acquaint yourself with the facilities available in the university, so that in future, even if you don't need now, you may require them, so that you know what are the facilities available. Particularly in connection with this Digital India, our library facilities, InflickNet and other resources particularly, I think it will be relevant to today's function. I'm happy that our NSS coordinator has organized this function along with the ITC and also the Ministry of Engineering and Information Technology. You know, the Prime Minister has given a number of speeches, and a number of programs have been initiated. There are many aspects of this Digital India. It is to empower people even at the remotest corner of the country, or even in Mizoram, even in the villages. They should have access to whatever the government plans, and also the schemes, projects of the government, and also many things, even information at the district level, at the state level, or at the national level. So a number of initiatives have been taken. And even in education, I think our other speakers will speak on all those aspects. But on the education side also, the government of India is, through the ministry, is trying to make all these facilities available to the educational institutions. I do not know how many of our affiliated colleges are having access to these ICT facilities. Because of this revolution in information technology, now you know that you can hear or attend the lectures of the best teachers in the world through this what you call virtual classrooms, etc. So even the UGC is having programs on education. They have definite time slots for different subjects. I do not know whether you used to see those programs. And now, the ministry also, through UGC, they want to float a number of courses through what is known as MOOCs. Even our university is planning to have, but the guidelines, the ordinances are yet to be approved by the academic council. Because of that, we may not be able to start in this current semester. But I think from the next semester or even from the next academic year, we'll be able to adopt these regulations in the university. And experts in different subjects under this MOOCs program, which I think some of you may be aware, they will float a number of courses which will be, if you want to take, instead of one of your elective subject or one of your papers in a particular subject, if you want to take this particular program or course. So by just using these virtual classrooms and other facilities, you can take that particular course. So even if we don't have anybody in your college or in the university to take this particular course, through these ICT facilities, you can take these courses. These are prepared by experts in their fields, and they are vetted by the experts, and they were accepted. So it's supposed to be the best possible courses in those particular disciplines or topics. So these are some of the facilities which you can access. And also, as I said, we have through Flipnet, many of the journals are available even in our university through these facilities, so you can have access. So that's why I say you can go to the library and see. But I think today I am talking about the topics related to your career and your syllabus. In order to do all this, I think you have to use these facilities to your advantage. Not only certain things as to contact friends and all, but also all these facilities are provided to enable you, to help you in your education. So it's up to you how you utilize these facilities. And I hope that through these workshops, even though for those who do not know how to utilize these facilities provided, you will be able to learn during this workshop, and also try to find out what are the facilities available, not only in education, in healthcare, and also governance, administration, everything. So I think even those who may not be having access to this till now, I think the government is trying to reach even the remotest corner of the state, the country, so we will be able to utilize. The only problem here, I would like to also tell our state government people that the infrastructure facilities are still sometimes a problem. For example, the other day, the President of India wanted to address all the higher educational institutions. And we used to have a number of rehearsals and all. And till the program was launched, everything was okay to our computer center, which we now call ICT center. Everything was working, but 3 minutes after the start of the program, the connectivity, BSNL connectivity, did not function. So we waited 1 hour without hearing his address. Although we have 2 connections, one to our IIMC, we have also this grid line, but at the same time, both the lines were snapped, so we could not hear anything. So I think in order to have all these facilities, even the government has to improve the infrastructure facilities. Otherwise, many of these programs may not be successful. So, and also, I think one of your responsibility will be as students, as people who are having access to higher education, you'll have to educate those people, even older generations, and people who are not as fortunate as you in the rural areas, to spread this awareness of the facilities, whatever facilities available, and also to teach them how to use these facilities to their advantage. So this, not only you equip yourself, but I think as students in the higher educational institutions, like we used to say, we used to teach reading and writing in the villages. So now we have also to have this as our mission, to help those who do not know yet the facilities available, and also how they can utilize these facilities for their so many information, and also how they can update themselves with the happenings, and what are the development plans of the government. All these things, I think you can teach them in wherever you are, so that this workshop is not only confined to you, but also it spreads to other areas, remote areas, where these facilities, if even they are not there at the moment, they will be provided soon. So the people should be prepared to make use of these facilities provided. And the NSS, since you are the youth and also the hope of the country, I think it is only befitting that this workshop is organized by the NSS for its volunteers, and also through the volunteers to spread it to other people and also other areas. So as I said, the actual programs will be, the facilities available will be given by the subsequent speakers. So I once again welcome all of you, and I wish you all a very successful deliberations today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your ever-inspiring words of wisdom and encouragement. Now may I please take the pleasure to invite Sri C. Lalmatuana, Secretary, DITC, to say a few words.
Professor P. Rinoma, Program Coordinator, NSS Cell, Mizoram University. Professor Arnold and Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University. Puzo Kai Tuanga, Dean Schools of Piso Kai Tuangi, sorry, Dean School of Social Science, Puala Rosa, Director of Higher and Technical Education, lecturers from different colleges, students, NSS volunteers, Mr. Kanan Gobinathan, DCI Zone, and my colleagues from Department of Information and Communication Technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. On behalf of Government of Mizoram, I welcome you for these particular functions, and I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the universities for arranging these particular functions in coordination with NEGD, Government of India. Today workshop is all about the digital India. Subsequent speakers will explain in detail, but I would like to brief and have an overview, which I feel is important. So let me explain what is digital India. To explain the digital India, we have to go back prior to the digital India program. In the initiative of e-governance, National E-Governance Plan has been initiated since 2003, and after conceptualizations of this National E-Governance Plan, it was launched countrywide in 2006. The visions of the NEGP, National E-Governance Plan, was to make all the government services accessible to the common man in his locality through common service center. So it talk about digitizations of the government services and bring it near to the citizens and provide this service through common service center. Then what is digital India after that? So digital India is a little bit ahead of the NDGP. It does not limit to the common service center. It does not limit to only delivering of the service. But now the attention has gone to the citizens. So it tried to empower the citizen to avail these services. It tried to empower the citizens to avail these services, whatever is available at the CSC, as well as from his home by utilizations of mobile applications and various technologies. So now it talk the individual, it talk about the citizens and empowerments and then educations, and a very big program has already been launched, that citizen IT literacy program. So we talk about the literacy rate, etc. So there are different type of literacy now. One is IT. People may able to read, write, but they should be able to utilize the technology. They should be able to check email. They should be able to send email. They should be able to transact money through banking systems, purchase goods through e-commerce. So the target of this citizen IT literacy is to educate at least one person in every household. And on the process of this achieving the target of the digital India, empowerment of the knowledge society through technology, IT technology, there are several challenges which has to be overcome. Some of the challenges which is relevant to the government, I would like to mention a few, which may not be actually known to you, which may not be earlier thought of. Basically, in the government side, the challenge is not a technology. Technology is already there. There are people who can do, who can make the software, who can program as per the requirements of the government or the service or whatever. But the main challenge, the challenge we face in the government sector is the change management. Change management. The change of your thought, the willingness to utilize the new technology, and the changes required for the process, the government engineering process. I would like to give a very simple example which we have come across recently, for which government of Mizoram, especially Mizoram State E-Governance Society, has been awarded 100 top projects under Scotch Award. That is inventory management system. It's very simple software which has been implemented at Secretariat. The software talk about all inventory management, nothing else. It's very simple, programming is very simple. But to implement and utilize is really a very big task. What needs to be done is that the SAD has to renumber all the rooms, counts all the furnitures, and label it physically. And those labeling cannot be done during the day when the office is there. It has to be done when the office is not available, office is closed. And after that, they have to enter in the systems. So now they have all the details. Then after that, they wanted to all the officers and the offices, whenever any requirement, the indents are required, it has to be submitted to this particular system, so that each and every requirement, every papers, every pen, whatever has been indented, will be accounted, so there will not be any seepage. So for that, they have to train each and every of offices who is handling this particular indent. Then the problem comes. People start complaining, I don't have internet connections. I'm not aware, I cannot handle computer systems. A lot of complaint has come. But SAD was not listening to them. We have to do this. It has to be utilized. So they fix up the date, from where it has to be utilized, from which date it has to be utilized. And there was a lot of complaint. Even the complaint come from the ministers. Minister wanted immediately some papers or some file covers, which they are not having readily. But SAT, they are telling that it has to, the requisition has to come from online system, not through verbal, not through written sheets. Those kind of change managements are required, and some of them will impact the citizens where change of the existing rules will be required. So for the government, the main challenge is this change management. And the next big challenges which other states might not face, but which we are facing in Mizoram due to our disadvantage of the location as well as the contours due to the hilly terrains, etc., is the connectivity. Connectivity is a big issue which has need to be addressed for the success of this digital India. at the same time, before I talk about the problems of the connectivities, sometimes connectivity issue has been taken as an excuse of not doing or implementing some of the IT projects. But if anyone really wanted to implement the IT projects, it is really possible in spite of the problem of the connectivity. Just for example is that Kobung video was given appreciation by the Chief Secretary as the best maintained website in 2015. They don't have proper connectivities, but all the informations, all the citizen informations, all the healthcare informations, all the project informations, how much they have distributed, who are the recipients, everything were made available on online system, in spite of the connectivity problem. And in spite of, there is no connectivity problem, even at ISOL, many departments are not able to do up to that level. So it's, sometimes it just comes as an excuse. And when it comes to a notice award, East Lungda are having a lot of connectivity problem, but they have been awarded as one of the best website maintained by the BDO again. But anyhow, what is the problem in the connectivity, especially which is prevalent in the state of Mizoram is our disadvantage due to the hilly terrains. The usual practice of providing the connectivity, especially for the broadband connectivity, is laying fiber on the roadside. But the roads are very small. There is no space for laying cables, optical cables. Whenever they lay cables, they disrupt the existing traffics. And even after they complete, landslide occur, and then maintenance of the road comes, and a lot of cable cuts. Whatever has been done earlier also, like Aizol through Silsa, Kolasip to Bairabi, Aizol through Lunglei, Aizol through Champhai. All these fiber optics is almost under non-repairable conditions due to frequent cuts. So underground cabling, which is being used to be done at the rest of the country, is not applicable in the state of Mizoram. So the alternative is an overhead through power lines. And here also we face a lot of problems, like due to the hilly terrains, our poles, electricity poles, the span lengths are not uniform, whereas the aerial OFC span length, ideally it should not be more than 100 meters, but as you see, our these electrical span lengths are more than 400 meters, 500 meters. And that also with a lot of elevations, where the load of the cable should be maximum at the higher side. In the plain area, it will be all level, so that the support, the accessories can have uniform weight. They can take uniform weight, but here it is not like that. So a lot of challenges are there. In spite of that, government of Mizoram, in coordinations with the Department of Telecommunications, is planning to implement BharatNet True, and the main program, the main objective of this BharatNet True is to connect all the Panchayat village, that is village council, at least with 100 Mbps internet connectivity. So initiative has been taken, and we are very much hopeful that in a few years from now, these connectivity problems would be resolved through usable level. When we talk about service delivery to the citizens, so what is required from the government side? If we look from the government side, to whom this service has to be delivered, who are the recipients, that need to be known, So if I am not aware who is going to receive these facilities or this particular help or whatever government is providing the service, it is useless. Let me take one example. Like one is this ration system. We have a ration cards, and what the government is doing is they purchase this rice with a rate of rupees 32 per kg and subsidize to rupees 15 to the general public and rupees 3 to the BPL, and supply through this ration shop. But in the process, as of now, there is no feedback where this ration has gone, who received, who actually take the rations. You have the ration card, but there is no report that in this particular month you actually received the ration or not. Government is spending a lot of money. So, and a lot of subsidy has been given on that. Suppose this particular family does not take these rations in this particular month. Does the retailer return to the government for not taking that particular, not availing that particular rations? No, never. What does it go? So there is no check system. There is nothing available. So government want to deliver to the right persons, and for that identification is already given by the Almighty, our creators. God have already given us the this individual biometric systems, your iris, your fingerprints. So government wanted to take the biometrics enrollments, and through that they wanted to ensure that those who would like to avail any services or any benefits will be delivered to the right persons, and they will be able to control the CPs and the losses of the governments. And hopefully, I think as of now, although government of India have already told that scholarship would be linked up with the Aadhaar, but I think 1 year, I don't know exactly what is the decisions, but in the newspaper we have read that 1 year relaxation has been given for the Mizoram. But soon we are going to start the biometrics enrollments, and I invite each and every of you that kindly participate, and so that you would be able to receive your whatever government wanted to deliver and whatever you wanted to avail from the governments. And with these few words, once again, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the universities and the SAMD, who is coordinating with them from ICT departments, and all my ICT officers. And thank you to all the students, lecturers who are participating in this program. I hope that after the sessions of these programs, you will come to know what exactly is Digital India, and you will be able to, as Professor Arun Trong, I have already informed, teach the other people, those who are not fortunate as you. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed, India's talents plus information technology is India's tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening words and information. Now, last but not the least, let me welcome Shri Kanan Gopinathan, DC Aizawl District, to have a few words.
pu chairman le kan VC pu lal chan tlonga kan secretary ICT pu lal ma chona director higher and technical education war lal rosanga le he workshop turin local in zawain chubai ka bukchiu Mizoram chu kan tu soi thelo claim tu tong thema se tu soi chu thelo so if also and soft tonga can continue no see some of you must be using your WhatsApp right now or playing games right now. Some of you are taking videograph, taking cameras. This has been possible because of those two things that we want to discuss, that is digital India. We feel something it is very alien, some kind of a scheme. Digital India is a scheme which will be brought to us by the government or Secretary ICT will come and give it to you. No, that's not going to happen. Neither is administration going to give a digital India or a digital Mizoram. We are already digital. All of us are digital. The only thing is for what we are digital. We are digital for making friends through Facebook. Many of us are. Or Instagram or WhatsApp, 100% we are. Or Clash of Clans. Everybody knows. But we are not digital for some of the other things. So, even while we blame the connectivity issues, even while we blame the internet issues, there is a large chunk who is already digital. But they are not connected to digital governance. They are connected to digital, they are not connected to governance through digital. That is what we want to change, and that is what we should attempt to change. So, if all of us, how many of you are aware of there is something called Mipuyo? Have you heard of it? No, many of you might not have. So, even I have. Yesterday we got a complaint. It's basically a grievance redressal from Honorable CM. So you can write your complaint directly to the CM. So yesterday we got one letter saying that there is a complaint that DC Aizol is not delivering the certificates in time. Of course, we have our challenges, there are connectivity issues, there are a lot of other things happening. But the power of that if you are applying for a scholarship and you have come to our office and you're not getting your certificate in time, okay. There is a huge rush now. For now, there are our reasons, so I'm not putting the blame on myself. But the power of that is you're simply using another digital, just like you're using a WhatsApp. You're just giving a complaint on that. And then suddenly that gets tracked from the highest office of the government. That gives a lot of power to the people. Now you're able to monitor me, my activities, whether my office is doing well. You're able to monitor Secretary ICT himself. You're able to monitor the entire government. But for that, we have to be aware of that. And for that to be aware, first we have to be aware, those who are sitting here have to be aware, so that you can take it to the people. Another issue is, that is the main purpose of the workshop, I suppose, Taslima may agree, so that you take these things, whatever you have during this seminar today, and then share it with your friends, share it with your parents, share it with your sisters and brothers, and tell them that you can use all this. Another thing is, we have a huge connectivity issue, true. But we have a bigger connectivity issue, that is our, physical connectivity. So let's say you are in Mauchar or in Sakordai, in my district I'm speaking, or in Kepran. You want to get a certificate. Ideally, you have to come here to Aizol or a certificate or I'm just telling because most of your students and you will be dealing with certificates. You have to come to Aizol to get it. We don't have a very, like a bus service or things like that. You have to get a sumo, you have to pay so much of money, 500 rupees to come to Aizol. The digital is so much easier to do. You don't need to construct all these roads. You need to simply put some, Wi-Fi or those towers if you're able to do those towers, so it is much easier for us to connect through digital than through physical. That is the reason why most of us are not meeting friends anymore, and most of us are on Facebook more often than not. So there lies a huge opportunity for a state like us. Earlier, the hilly states, we were at a disadvantage because for us the roads, the connectivity, all those issues were a big thing. And the plains were at an advantage because there it's very easy to construct roads. They can easily go to one place to another. If 30 kilometers, they can go in 15 minutes. Now we are all equal because the speed of that communication is same. Be it here, you send a friend, a WhatsApp message from here to Nathial or Lungle or Saiha. It will reach the same time as somebody is doing from Delhi to Bombay. So we are all made equal. The digital has made us all equal. Are we ready to make use of it? Both from the government, from the citizen. We don't get newspapers daily, like Hindu or any English newspapers. So many of us find it difficult to prepare for UPSC, civil service, etc. Now that is not an issue. You can download the Hindu app on your phone. You can start reading, you can just select editorial and daily start reading. It's a simple thing. But suddenly, the chances of you clearing has increased. Earlier you had to go to Delhi to even read, or you had to wait one day for the newspaper to come. Now it's not. It depends on what you choose. Of course I also play Clash of Clans, but the thing is, we also have to do some other things which are more productive. And that is where, when you see your students, when you see your friends, when you're using this social media, is very important. At the same time, you also have to make them aware of the other things that we can do using the same thing that we are having, the phone or the internet or the. Incidentally, yesterday was the 25th year of internet. August 23rd was when the first website was launched. It was a project, it came out, it was done for something else, it came out as a website. It came on August 23rd. And today we are having this Digital India program. So it's very coincidental. Something else that I would like to mention is, from our district, of course, we are trying to do quite a lot of initiatives in digital front. One thing is that we are trying very recently that we are trying to do is a disaster management. So we have made the app. That means if you have some issue in whichever village you can simply take a picture and upload it. It will come to us. We'll be able to do the compensation, assessment, verification, etc., and we'll be able to track it. You can raise an alarm if you are in danger. It will come to us. You can find out who is your officer, concerned zonal officer, to whom you have to report. It doesn't matter whether they get transferred, whether they change or anything. It will automatically get updated. If there is a major disaster from us, some things to be informed, that we can inform through notification. There are quite a few things that, the thing is, it will all be useful only if you start using it. Otherwise, it won't be useful. Then, another thing we had was, very simple, very strange thing. We had this arms license UIN to be given, unique identification. Some of the senior members might know. And we gave an advertisement that people should come and take it from our office. There are around 8,000 of them. Then we felt it is useless for people to come to our office to just get that number. Then we somehow digitized the entire thing. We made it into a searchable database, and then we made a call center so that anybody just can give a call and tell their number, and they'll be able to get their UIN. Till now, around 4,500 people have visited our office personally, and only 100 people have called. That is, isn't it easier to call? Of course it is. But slowly we have to build that trust. We still feel that unless we come to the office, unless we go to the office and personally get it done, that that may not be having that value. It's just a number that you need to quote. That trust building is also now your responsibility. That the things that you do, that you allow your, or ask your friends to do through internet or through many of the apps, through many of the technology, that is a valid interface between government and the citizen, and more valid than you coming to the office. So that is again, I hope after this seminar and workshop, some of us can take it. I was posted in Nathal before this, and for me, I was in Delhi before, in Saket, SDM Saket, South Delhi, and straight away transferred to Nathal. So I couldn't believe there was no broadband. Only 2G was available. There was no broadband available. So we had a lot of fight with BSNL. We told it is subdivisional headquarter. How can a subdivisional headquarter not have? And one of the letter I wrote to BSNL, was the Prime Minister is launching this Digital India. Talking about Digital India, and here in the subdivision we're not even having broadband. Is this the kind of Digital India that we want to have? So that the moment you mention a flagship scheme to some of the PSUs, it had so we had our broadband in a matter of in a matter of month. We had our broadband with around 32 or 64 connections. They didn't give many. I'm not sure how it is the situation right now. So if there is a demand, because the people there demanded it, if we demand for waiting shed, we will get waiting shed. If we demand for Tuikur, we will get Tuikur. If we demand for internet, we will get internet. That demand has to come. That demand will come if people believe that there is a value to it. Currently it is being seen as these kids playing all time, using this WhatsApp, all time using this playing games, stupid fellows wasting their time. That is a perception. That perception has to change. It is a much more valuable tool. And once you change that, once the people who are sitting here come for the workshop, you are able to go back and tell. Maybe somebody else could also tell some of, it will be conveyed in a better way in Mizo later. So if you can convey that there is a great value to this digital part, the demand will be there. And once the demand will be there, it will be met. There is no chance it is not going to be met. It is much easier to build this infrastructure than any other infrastructure. So I hope you will be the brightest ambassadors of Digital India and Digital Mizoram. There are a lot of schemes, and you will take it to entire place, back to your colleges, back to your society, community and places, villages, and tell them that use this. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir. We have a slight change of program here. Now we may call upon Dr. Benjamin L. Saitwa, Program Officer, NSS Mizoram University, to give us a gist of the agenda of the day.
Thank you. Once again, welcome all of you. We have gathered here from different parts of the state to digitally aware, and I, as a part of the organizing committee, thank you and for your presence. And I'm sorry to say that some colleges, a few colleges have some problem which they, as a result of which they cannot attend. So now we are going to the latter part and the main agenda of the program. And here after this, there will be a display of film about Digital India. And then after this, there will be a skit show, the contest. Before I'm going to the agenda, I would like to introduce our jury, and which we have to depend upon this the selection of for the two best performing teams. So for the jury, for the skit contest, we have three jury members. Would you please stand up at your seat? Varun System Administrator from ICT, Mizoram. Ronnie from System Engineer from ICT. And Dr. Lonley doing fine. He's supposed to come after some time. So this will be these persons. They will be jury members from a jury, and the skit show will be started with Aizawl North College. There are 5 colleges, but unfortunately, Tirumana College will not be able to perform, which will be followed by Pachua University College, and Pachua College will be, after that, Jahankima College will come, and then Shambanda College will be the last. So there are 5 colleges to participate in the skit contest. And after the skit show, we'll continue with presentation on the Digital India program, which has to be done by Mr. Lal System Administrator from Department of Information Communication Technology. And after that, we'll have a lunch break. Then we have to gather here again after the lunch. Then there will be a PowerPoint presentation from Mr. Valaria, System Analyst, on the topic of projects and e-services in the state. Then this will be followed by another interactive session from the students. So there will be quiz which will be conducted by Ms. Tasli Mashur, State E-Governance Mission Team. And during this period, during the quiz contest, those colleges which have to participate in the poster making competition, you are requested to nominate 2-3 persons and to come out from this auditorium at the front, and there is a place in which we have to do your own projects. And then after this, there will be an item which is called by different names, like strategy making or think, plan, and execute. This is instructions instructions have been provided to you. So we will announce again the way you have to do. Colleges will be clubbed together. Although we have nominated 5 colleges to compete each other, but each college will have 3 other colleges as partners. So you will sit together and you will discuss and you will try to think out the best way to spread awareness on Digital India. This is what we have to do. And then the last item is the distribution of certificates and vote of thanks, which our registrar, Mr. Zotan Kuma, is coming to distribute the certificates, and the winner certificate will be distributed as well as the trophies. And I would like to say that the trophies have been sent through post, so there were some problems in the sense that most of them have been were broken, but we have been trying to rebuild it. But I have to assure you that we have reported to the central government and they are sending a new ones. But today we cannot provide you the new one. So please take the restructured one and then we will send the new ones to you. That is about the program. I would like to enjoy, all of you to enjoy And if there is any problem, then please feel free to intimidate. Thank you.